Okay, we're live on my phone because I cannot figure this stuff out. As you guys know, every time I try to do one of these, it is always such a massive problem. So annoying. Anyway, but hopefully YouTube will be smart enough to transfer everybody over to this one. And I'm just going to have to hold my phone for the next hour because I can't even find my tripod to put my phone on. So this is what happens when you run a business with literally just one person. You can't anticipate any of this crap. So, all right. Anyway, I have a whole list of stuff I'm going to talk about before we get into it, and then I'm going to answer everyone's questions. So thank you, everybody, for being very patient with me, as always. And yeah, let's jump into it. First of all, I want to know, obviously, where everybody's watching from. Love seeing this. I've seen some familiar names pop up already. Dave, I saw you. Greg, good to see you. Looks like some new faces, too. Sorry, I know this is kind of... Hopefully I'm not too shaky for the whole time, but Power's watching from Texas. Aura, yes, finally. I feel your pain, Aura. Ethan's watching from Bristol. Mark from the USA. Melina from Argentina. David from Canada. Henry, hello from California. Salvatore, Boston. Ohio. Midwest, US. Long Beach, Connecticut, Pakistan, Palestine, Barcelona, Portugal, Netherlands, New York, San Diego, Sarasota. Whoa, amazing. Philippines. We can get sound now. Yes, Henry. Awesome. So glad you guys can hear me. It's a little bit important. Greg's watching from Iowa. I did know that. Sergey from Barcelona, Cyprus, Toledo, Romania. Wow, awesome. Wow, we have people from all over. I know this time is not really good for like our people around like the Australia time zone and Asia and stuff like that. But I thought since most of you are from the US or from Europe, then this is a good time on a Sunday because no one's working, blah, blah. So, yeah. So a couple things before we are going to jump into the Q&A. So hold on to your questions for a second. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you. Hold on to your questions just for a moment. I'll let you know as soon as we're ready to start taking them, and I'll go through as many of them as I can by the time 8 o'clock rolls around. So first of all, I want to say you can see my paper here. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who pre-ordered the 3-day London itinerary. We sold out completely now. I'm so super excited to get that created for you. I already started mapping out what I think is going to be each day and how each day is going to progress. But what I'm going to do starting next week is actually test each of these to make sure that, one, it's not too much walking and actually like it makes sense with like just everything that kind of goes along with being in London essentially. So yeah, really excited for that. So thank you if you pre-ordered. If you didn't get a chance to pre-order, I am going to be releasing it for the general to the general public at some point. I did want to also ask you guys your opinion on this. So the earliest that I would be able to do the release is early December, but I feel like December might be a tough time for you guys because I know there's holidays, so people are focusing on holiday stuff. Maybe you're also focusing on getting presents and gifts and like your travel plans for whatever holiday you're going to be celebrating. So would it be better? Let me know in the comments in the live chat if you think that it would actually be better for me to just do the release after the holidays and after Christmas time and to do it in January. Personally, for me, it actually would be better, but if you're coming in December, then that means you'll probably miss out. Or if you think December's okay and you'd rather just get it sooner rather than later. So if you can let me know in the live chat, that would be great. Aceto said early Jan's fine. Yeah, it would be better in January. Said life is Maya. January, new year, new adventure. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I think like December is just crazy for work for people too. And CDOS, our trip is mid-January. So yeah, that would be fine then. And then also, like, just money-wise, probably that's a little bit of an easier thing. I think January is not the best for money, is it either? But just in terms of, like, what you're trying to spend your money on and stuff. So, yeah, okay, then maybe January will do that. But hopefully that's not too much of a problem. If anybody was hoping to get it, that's going to come, like, in December. So, okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks for your input on that. Also, even if you didn't get the 3-day itinerary and maybe you're coming before January when I'm going to be releasing that, don't forget there's also the local guide to London. That is my massive PDF guide slash map that can go on your phone that has all of my best London recommendations. You can pull tons of great information from that. That's on my website. Don't forget also I do London trip planning consultations. We do one-on-one calls kind of like this, but it's just you and me. I can answer your questions, or there's an option for me to just create your itinerary for you based on your preferences and your budget. And then also, if you guys are ever looking for tours, if you go on my website, I have a page that has my recommended tours for London. I'm really, really picky about tours in London. I don't really suggest very many at all. Like, I'm not a group tour person. I think a lot of them are really expensive, and I want you guys to get most of your money, but I do have a few that I really quite passionately feel that you guys will like. So that's on my website too. If you didn't know, I have a podcast. It's called Travel Chat with Jess. If you are following me on Instagram, or if you happen to be on my email list, then you probably know that already. If not, then you should definitely go have a listen. It's on iTunes. It's also on Google Play. However, I'm thinking I'm going to change it up a little bit. I was talking about quite general stuff, travel tips and stuff like that. However, I think I'm just going to go back to doing just London stuff because that's what I know best, and it seems to be what you guys are really interested in. So if that sounds okay to you, let me know in the live chat, and if you're like totally up for London stuff, or if you actually like the more general travel stuff as well. So, all right, let's have a look here. My arm's already getting tired and I'm trying to watch for the comments. Rosie said, what is the fee for a consultation? So Rosie, it just depends. So if you go on my website, you'll see the breakdown of the prices for it. Cool. Brilliant. Awesome. Hold your questions just for a bit. I do see some of them coming in, which is awesome. I will definitely get to them, but just one more thing I want to talk about. Also, if you don't know, I love posting stuff on Instagram. We have lots of I actually post a lot of really good like insider tips on Instagram. And if you ever want to see the behind the scenes of like what I get up to in London during the day or on the weekend, a lot of you seem to really like my video that went out this week about what to do, what I do on the weekends in London, which is cool because that was a little bit of like a weird one for me. I felt a little, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it, but I'm glad that you guys have seemed to like it so far. So if you like that kind of stuff, you should follow me on Instagram. It's just at Jess_in_London. And if you're sharing your own photos, I love seeing them. So please make sure you use the hashtag #LoveAndLondon on your photos so I can see them, and I'll share any that you guys are happy for me to share. And it's really good fun. So, okay, cool. I see lots of questions coming in, and I think you guys are keen for me to get started answering them. So let's go ahead and start going through them. Let me see how I can do this without like, oh gosh, all right, without my hand it all in the complete shot. I miss my tripod. I need it so bad. Lisa said, are you concerned with the Uber issues there? No, I'm not. The Uber will be around for a little while longer, and then if it's not, then I'm just gonna have to go back to taking black taxis, unfortunately, at my expense. Cool. Marcelo, I like travel tips in general. In fact, I'll visit not just London and England. Okay, cool. Thanks, Marcelo, for that. Cool. Let's see. Oh no. Can you guys see me now? Okay. I'm getting a flashing alert that says very bad connection. I don't know why I'm having a bad connection, but I have a feeling my husband's in our bedroom right now streaming some football or something, and it's killing my connection. Okay, let's see. All right, go ahead, put your questions in. Let's get started. Maria, what do you think of blue badges? I don't know what that is. Blue badges? Do you recommend hiring them? Is the price worth it? I don't know what that is, Maria. Cool. Para, is the Millennium Bridge fun to experience? I don't know what you mean. I mean, like, fun? It's a bridge. You can get some really nice photos. You got some nice views from there. It's right next to the Tate Modern. if you go to the Millennium Bridge from the side where the Tate Modern is, you can get this amazing photo, and it like looks straight on. You've probably seen it on my Instagram, and it's like, I can't even describe. It's amazing. Carly said coming to January and wants to do a food tour. I know you like London. Carly, if you go on my website and you look at my my page that says London tours I recommend, there's a really good food tour on there. It's worth the money. It's not too expensive. Like compared to other tours, it's like pretty okay. But that I love it. I definitely recommend that one. So if you go on my website, there's a link on there for you. Blue badges are experienced tour guides, Maria said. I don't know. I've never done that before. So, I mean, I guess like it depends on what you're trying to get out of it, really. If you want like a private tour guide, then maybe that's. I also don't know what like the prices are, so it's hard for me to really say. Hi Jess, any ideas for casual dates around London Bridge Station? We've been to Borough Market, but that's about it. So it kind of depends on like what your budget is, and like I guess it's kind of relative to say what casual dates are. But if you get the local guide to London, that's probably really the best way for you to get some recommendations from me, because otherwise I have to like, it's hard to say like how far away from London Bridge do you want to go, like what kind of food do you like, is there any allergies that need to be considered, like what's your budget. That's probably the best thing. A couple of places, like there's Grind, they have good food there. It's also like a coffee shop. London Bridge is a bit of a difficult place around there. There's like some good places and some not so good places, a lot of touristy stuff. Padella is also really good if you like pasta. Is Big Ben being worked on? Yes, it is, and the scaffolding's almost to the top covering the clock, unfortunately. Yosef, a place you think we can't miss after 6 times in London. Maybe a unique, that's not all the tourists know. Well, I don't know. Like, it kind of depends, like, what have you done and what have you not done? That's the question, really, that you can't miss. I mean, always, like, getting away from central London, of course, like, going to Chelsea or Kensington and, like, going to anything really around there. Also, I don't know, Yosef, if you've been to Shoreditch and the East End. Really quirky and cool place to go. Henry said, does London have Lyft? No, it doesn't. There is, if you want to get a black taxi via an app, the app that they have here is called Get Taxi, I'm pretty sure, which I will probably download soon. Yeah, I don't know if Lyft will ever come here, to be honest. Probably not, considering that Uber's having so many problems. Carly, which of their tours do you like best? Go to my website, you'll see. Ethan, Shard or Sky Garden? I personally prefer the Sky Garden because it's free. Shard is obviously a lot taller. You can see the Shard from the Sky Garden, which is cool. The Shard is just, to me, I've been up there, but it's like really, it's like 25 pounds a person. So it's up to you, though. I personally always recommend the Sky Garden. It can be hard to get tickets, though. And what do you think of the London Walks? I've never been on one before. And I'm assuming that's like a tour company, isn't it? I've never been on one of those, so I didn't know. Chet said, is it worth seeing Stonehenge? To me, no, Chet, but I really don't think it's worth it. I've driven past it and I'm like, that's fine for me. It's a journey outside of London, but we've had a lot of people in the community say that they really enjoyed their trip there, so it kind of just depends what you're into. Osama, what's the best nightclub in London? Well, that's a very subjective question. I'm not really a big nightclub person at all. A couple that people usually like are Fabric, and if you really like house music, Ministry of Sound is a big one. Also, there's, if you like kind of like, I think it's trancey house music, Egg is meant to be good, and XOYO is supposed to be good too. Sean, what airport should I fly into? Kind of just depends. If you can do Heathrow, Heathrow is probably the most convenient, depending on where you're trying to go in the city. How's the weather today, Jess? Lisa said, the weather is lovely. Thank you for asking, Lisa. We've had an unseasonably warm day and it ended up being nice and sunny. I was walking around Kensington. We went to Kensington Gardens and Kensington Palace. It was really like beautiful autumn weather here and really nice. Have you ever watched a football match in the UK? And if so, what team do you support? I have watched football matches in the UK. I don't myself have any like preference on who I support, but my husband's a West Ham fan. I don't know what that means to you, but okay. Jess, what do you think about long-term travel accommodation, say 3 months exploring London and the UK? Do you suggest Airbnb? And should we worry about TSA border control when staying longer than 3 weeks? Yeah, so, I mean, probably Airbnb. Yeah, that's probably what I would use. And yeah, you do have to be careful. If you're coming for quite a while and like you don't have a job back at home and you need to make sure like you provide documentation that you have enough money to support you so you don't have to work. And you have to have like a flight back to wherever you're from. And they're really strict about that stuff, speaking from personal experience. So, yeah, I mean, you just have to kind of like have a lot of proof that you intend to leave and that you have enough money so you don't have to work. Marcelo said, I'm flying to Europe. I'll take a sport backpack 19 inches instead of a wheelie suitcase as a carry-on. No, if you have a problem with the size, Marcelo? No, if you just have to measure it and make sure all the dimensions will fit into whatever airlines you're going to be flying with. That's just really the easiest way to figure it out. Henry, are you a sports fan, Jess? If so, what's your favorite? And have you been to Yankee Stadium? I've been to Yankee Stadium a few times. I'm not a huge sports fan, to be honest, Henry. I went to the NFL game a couple weekends ago. That was so much fun. The one here in London. Yeah, I'm not really like, I used to kind of be into it when I lived in the US, but since it's been a good like 6 years since I've lived there, I've just kind of lost touch with it all. And I haven't gotten into like the football or anything here. Kim said best, least expensive airport. Well, it's kind of hard to answer that. What do you mean by least expensive? Like to fly into? It kind of just really depends. You kind of just have to like look on your own and see because there's not really any way for me to know. It just depends on like where you're flying from and whatever you can find on Skyscanner. I guess, Kim, to just keep in mind too is that like if you do fly into say Stansted or Luton, that they're quite far outside of London, so they take a lot longer to get into central London. Alexander, would you suggest Manchester or Birmingham? So I've only been to Manchester for about a day and a half, and I've never been to Birmingham. So personally, I can't. However, maybe someone else in the chat can make suggestions. That's been. Janae, will you ever make vlogs about your life in London? Maybe. That was kind of a stretch for me to do the video that just went live this week. It's kind of like, it's hard to record your life. I think that it's like, the people that make it look easy, it's really hard. And like people that you're with don't want to be on camera, which is fair enough. And it kind of like, doing that video, it was fun and I really liked showing you guys, but also really interfered with like my day and trying to live my life. I mean, if it was like not on the weekend, maybe it would be a little bit different because then obviously like the weekend I try to have more of a like me time except for like right now. But Harish, what's the weather like in December? It just depends. It'll be cold, but I have a video about how to figure out weather in London. It's just hard for me to like give you exact, so watch that video. Have you spent any time in Ireland? Caroline said, did you enjoy it? Yep, I've been to Dublin a few times. Dublin's really nice. It's really expensive, but it's a cool city and it's a lot smaller than London, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Anna said, what's your favorite park in London? Ooh, my favorite park. It might be Battersea Park. I like Battersea because it's right on the river. So you can walk along the river for a real long time and still be in the park, and it's just really lovely. Have I been into the Tower Bridge? I haven't actually. The tickets aren't that expensive, so I think they're only like £9. So if you want to try it, then it's not too bad. Lisa's always telling me about how nice and warm it is where she lives. She said it's supposed to be 90 degrees Fahrenheit today. Lisa, I was so happy with the warm weather we had today, so you're really killing me now. Do you recommend the Cotswolds? Sean said. I haven't been before. So a lot of people say it's really lovely. A lot of Brits will go there for like summer holiday or just to like get away for a weekend. So is Uber an option? I'll be staying in Victoria. Yep, Uber's still here for now. Anais, is there a live music bar or a pub place you'd recommend? So yeah, there's good live music in Camden, Anais. So I have a blog post about things to do in Camden. If you go to loveinlondon.com, that will probably be the most helpful way. There's a couple of spots I've recommended on there. That's probably the best area for live music. However, where was I last night that said they did live music? Oh, I can't remember. I think that will be a good start for you. Okay, let's see. Mike, how is the atmosphere doing New Year's? I suppose to be there this year. Is it similar to New York? Yeah, probably. I think like it's pretty similar where there's a lot of bars and clubs that will have things on. People will go stand outside. You have to get tickets to go see the fireworks in like the good spots. And then people will have house parties as well. So it's pretty similar, I think. Marcelo said, can I put a mini foldable umbrella in my carry-on? Yep, that's fine. Chris, have you adopted quote-unquote soccer as your sport of choice now? Have you watched cricket? I've watched cricket. I'll go like to the football games like every once in a while, but it's not my ideal way to spend 2 hours. I'm happy to like watch it in a pub as opposed to go, and because then I can like have a nice meal and drink a couple of pints. Is a Sea Life aquarium worth it? I personally don't approve of aquariums, and I also think like if you're gonna come to London and go to an aquarium, it's not like there's so many other good things you could do. Everton, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what Heathrow Airport to Cricklewood is. If you use Google Maps, it will be able to tell you how to get there. Do I like Harry Potter? Wazlib said. No, I don't. Don't hate me. Sharon, have you been to Paris? Yes, I have. It's been a really long time. I haven't been since 2012 when I met my now husband there to go see a show for 24 hours. But we weren't married at that point. We had just met a few days before. Nicholas, I'm coming to London in March next year and I only have 2 days, so what's the best places I should see? Nicholas, it's hard to say. It's like, that's a really general question. You're not the only one, though. I've seen a lot of questions like this in the chat, which it's hard for me to answer stuff like that, which is why I created the 3-day itinerary that will be coming soon. And then the local guide to London has all of my suggestions for like more local stuff to do. Just because it's really hard for me to answer that, because like it depends on what your budget is, what your interests are, where like what areas you want to be in. So yeah, getting one of those is probably the best way to answer that. Kim, Camden Market, what day or time is least busy? Most likely weekdays and not during food times, but it gets pretty busy a lot of the time. So just kind of expect it. Tracy, good to see you. Glad you can finally watch me live too. Do you have any advice for ladies or gents dating British men or women who plan on being future expats to London? Gosh, I don't know. I don't really have advice. I kind of only have like my own experiences. So, I don't know. It's kind of difficult, but it's great life here. So, Janae, what do you like to do on the weekends in London? Well, if you watch my video that just went live on Thursday, you'll see what I did a couple of weekends ago. But mostly I like to kind of discover new things to do around here. Like today I was at Kensington Gardens and went past Kensington Palace. And then I also really like to try new food spots. Best theater to get cheap tickets for a good show. So it's not by theater that you get the cheapest tickets. If you try like Today Tix, that will be a good place to start to search for cheaper tickets. Okay. Chet's asking about Sunday roast and a place that's best for that experience. So, Chet, if you watch my video about Sunday roast, I have, you can sign up through that for my free 7 things you must do in London course. And in that course, I have a couple of recommendations. I also have a couple more recommendations in the local guide to London. Any Halloween haunted attractions, haunted houses? Yeah, there's a few things. There's like a haunted, or like you could do like a night bus tour of London. There will be a few things I'm not sure about haunted houses. I don't really think that's as much of a thing here. It's a lot more like parties and things like that. I was looking at the list of stuff going on the other day, and it wasn't super populated just yet. But if you do a Google search, you'll find a couple more things. Lisa said, when do the Christmas shops start? Oh, when do the Christmas pop shops start popping up? They usually start, the department stores have them now. The smaller ones and like the markets and stuff, they're usually up by the beginning of December. Oh, Henry, thank you so much for the super chat. Sorry it's taking me a little bit of time to get to it. I'm trying to just scroll through and get through it. I truly enjoy your travel chats with Jess. I just listened to every single one of them on iTunes via Apple TV. What are the chances of your chats going longer? Oh, thank you, Henry. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that's a really good question. I definitely want to make them longer. So I'm just trying to figure out what to talk about. So Henry, I really want to start doing interviews with people who are from London who know their stuff that can give you guys tips. I definitely, for sure, that's really good input, and I totally agree with you. I want to make them longer as well. So I'm going to work on that for sure. Thank you so much again for that super chat. That's really kind of you. Jenna said, I'll be in London mid-November and I need outerwear jacket suggestions. Jenna, I do have a video about what to wear in London. In general, just wear what's going to keep you warm and comfy, I would say, because it's probably going to be quite chilly. And like, you could go for the classic trench coat, but I don't think that's going to be warm enough for you. So yeah, if you go, also Jenna, I have on my Pinterest board, or on my Pinterest page, there's a whole Pinterest board of fashion inspiration for people who are coming to visit London, so that might help too. Janae, when is Leicester Square the least busiest? Ooh, like January, during the week, during the day. It's usually pretty crowded. Oh yeah, Mark said Jack the Ripper tour. That would be a good thing to do for Halloween. Good one, Mark. That's a good suggestion. Tony, is there a pharmacy chain where you can find US brands? You don't need to get US brands. They have everything that, like, it's just very similar stuff here. So if you need something, go into just a pharmacy or a drugstore here and then just ask them, tell them what you kind of stuff you need, and they'll give you like the equivalent. Can you get hot, boiled or not water anywhere, free or paid? It's for my mate. Argentine drink. Well, you can get like hot water at like coffee shops and stuff. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. I don't know if they're gonna make you pay for that or not. Probably yes, because of the cup. Do you recommend the London Eye worth the cost? So I'm back and forth on that, Sean. It is a bit expensive. A lot of people like to do it. I actually posted on my Facebook my Facebook page the other day asking if people think I should put that in the 3-day London itinerary, and it was very 50-50. Like a lot of people said it was worth it for sure. A lot of people said maybe for your first time, and a lot of people said no, too expensive, go to like the Sky Garden instead. Hi Gladimar. What is the best store to buy shoes from? What kind of shoes? It just what's your budget? What do you like? It kind of depends. There's so many places you get shoes here. Brian, do you know places outside London like castles for photographers? So you could go to like Windsor Castle. You could go to Edinburgh if you want to go all the way up to Edinburgh. There's Edinburgh Castle. There's loads of castles here. If you do a Google search, you'll be able to pull up some more than what I've said. Hi Jess, when does London begin the Christmas decorations at Edgardo? They're starting to put them up. They're not all lit yet. Most of them will be fully up by the beginning of December. Jess, are summers in London unbearable as an American with the AC central air situation not being in some houses? It's fine. The thing is, we only get like 2 weeks a year in the summer where it's like gets really warm and it gets to be a bit much. But besides that, it's bearable. Don't forget I'm American, so especially compared to summers in Italy. When I lived in Italy, oh my god, that was like unbearable. But it's fine here. Everyone just deals with it. Have I survived without a clothes dryer? Well, I have one now, but I did for the first 3 years I was here, or 2.5 years. But actually, also the one that I have now is like not anything used to what we have in the US. So I dry everything on the clothesline now, but then like towels or anything that needs to be dried a little quicker, I put in the dryer for like just an hour just to get the last little bits out. Para, what's the best place to buy groceries for general food during the anything that's nearby you? You can't go wrong really. Just whatever is close to where you are. Gladimar, boots under 100 pounds. Well, you can go to like, if you want to go to Westfield, that's a shopping mall. There's some places you could go there. I don't really know. I'm not like a huge shopper, so it's hard for me to, and like, I don't know like what your style is and stuff, so it's hard to say really. But there's shopping everywhere in London. Like you could just find loads of places. Kim said Borough Market best time and day. Avoid Saturdays and try to go when it's not peak lunchtime. Is Hyde Park good for a picnic in March? It's probably going to still be pretty cold. Jerry said want to stroll and shop around Covent Garden, Soho, and Piccadilly Circus. Do I need to research what are the best streets to walk, or is this kind of obvious when you walk? Just explore. You don't need to research really. My 3-day itinerary is going to cover all those areas, but you can just wander. That's what I did yesterday. I was around Covent Garden, Soho yesterday, just kind of wandering and seeing new stuff to discover. Is Piccadilly Circus similar to Times Square? Kinda, yeah. It's probably not as crowded depending on when you go. Yeah, that's like when people ask, I say that's the equivalent of the Times Square. So like locals usually try to avoid that area. Just like local New Yorkers hate going through Times Square, like hate it. Where did you buy your camera? Because I want to buy a camera to take pictures in London. I won it actually at an event. But if you want to go to a camera shop, you could try like Park Cameras, or Jessups is kind of like almost like a Best Buy of cameras. Are hotels safe? Can I get robbed at a hostel? Yeah, I mean, which hotels, which hostels? Like generally speaking, yes, London is very, very safe, especially in the areas that most people who are visiting are going to be in. So you'll be fine, but you should always lock up all your stuff in your safe, and like when you're in a hostel, in your hostel locker. Any good vintage / hipster type areas for shopping? Yes, for sure. Go to Brick Lane in Shoreditch. That's the best area for you. Sunny said, I'm planning to visit London in November. Is it really cold there? Usually it is, but it just depends. Jennifer said, I need a SIM card for 2 weeks in January in London. Which do you recommend? Where can I buy it? I use O2. They're fine. There's a bunch of companies that are fine that you could get it from. Once you get to your accommodation and drop your stuff off, if you just ask them like where the nearest supermarket is or convenience store, all those places will sell SIM cards. They're pretty easy to find. When is London the warmest? July and August usually, but it depends. Do you think the food is bad versus American food? No, I think the food's way better here than in the US. Any recommendations for a picky eater for your favorite restaurants? Expand your palate. Traveling is the moment when you need to like expand your palate and try to like not be a picky eater. I totally get it. Like I would not say I'm super adventurous. I don't eat any meat now, but like before when I did, I don't eat most red meat. I didn't eat most seafood. I get it, but like whenever I travel, I really try to try at least to have something a little bit different. There's so many different types of cuisines here. There's you could get anything you possibly want. So definitely try to expand as much as possible. Could you use public transport to get all the way to the Harry Potter studios? Yes, you can. Have you heard of Park Plaza Westminster Bridge Hotel? Yep, I passed it the other day. Sorry, Chad, I didn't realize Power is your boyfriend and now you're going to be shopping for 12 hours straight. That's how it goes, I guess, right? Galerame, what do you think about the Stonehenge tour? So I don't know which one. We did talk about this. I think you might have just hopped on after we've talked about this. I personally don't think going to Stonehenge is worth it, but there are a lot of people that do. I don't know, there's a bajillion tours that go there and they go to 5 other places in one day. It just seems silly to me. I personally would probably just try to go on your own if you can, or go to a tour that's just gonna take you there and then maybe stop in Salisbury quick. Our bathrooms or toilets Londoners call it easy to find. If my husband's watching this, he's gonna laugh that I am answering this question because I always have to use the bathroom. They're fine. You'll figure it out. There's always ones that you can pay for in the big major stations. It's probably easier than you experience in Florence. There's public toilets. You can just look for signs for them, and then if worst comes to worst, any big department stores will have them, or Whole Foods, or even hotels. Today I actually just walked into a hotel confidently and found the toilet and used it there. So there you go. Is it easier taking an Uber, a taxi, or a train? It completely depends on where you're going. Because sometimes if you take an Uber or a taxi, you're going to get stuck in a load of traffic depending on where you're going and what time of the day it is. Henry, thank you again for the super chat. That's so kind of you, $5. When is your next big trip, Jess? I'm actually trying to see if I can make it to the Live the Adventure Summit by Louis Cole next month. My next big trip is... The next big one is to New York for Christmas. And that's all I have planned so far. I haven't planned anything for next year, so I have to see. But that'd be cool if you come for... I didn't know Louis was doing an event soon. Piet, ever been to Bagerier, the Swedish bakery in London? I passed it yesterday and I was going to pop in and get something, but I had just had a really big lunch, so I was not hungry. But every time I pass it, it smells phenomenal. Do you miss living in Florence, said Sean. Yeah, I do sometimes. Best time to go to Buckingham Palace to avoid the crowds, early in the morning. Way before 11, that's when the changing of the guards happens. Where can you go to the beach is London without freezing? There's not really that many. You can go to Brighton for the beach. There's a few other places too, but I've never been on a proper beach day here in England. How is St. Patrick's Day celebrated there? Not as big in the cities in the US if you're from the US, Betty, but they do have parties and stuff here. Plus, there's a lot of Irish people here, so they do, even though like it's not actually a super Irish thing, they do like the excuse to go and get drunk. Is Soho different in London from New York? Yes, it is. Okay. Maria, I don't know anything about schools, so I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. Para, best nightlife. It kind of depends on what you're into. Soho's usually a pretty popular area for nightlife, as is Shoreditch. Okay, cool. I think I kind of got through everyone's questions. Thank you again for being so patient, by the way. I know this is every time I try to do one of these shows, it is just, it never works out very well. So I appreciate how patient you guys have all been with this. Job, John. I'm planning on moving to London by January for my post-grad course. Can you please help me which bank offers to create a bank account very easily? If you go, I have a video about studying abroad in London. If you go and watch that, there's some Gabby, who just in the video, because she studied in London for 4 years. She mentions that, and she can talk about it way better than I can. How early should you get to the Eurostar station? As an American, is easy to get through security? That's a good question, Para. Leave yourself about 45 minutes. It shouldn't be, you should be fine getting through with 45 minutes. You'll probably actually have a lot of extra time. And then 45 minutes is fine. That will give you enough time. If you find that the line's really long, you just have to tell a staff member and they'll sort you out. Janae, where can you get a nice breakfast in London? Oh, Janae, I have lots of choice for breakfast in the local guide to London, and I'm always discovering new places. For example, I went to Pharmacy today. That is a vegan place that is really good for breakfast for like anyone, even if you're not vegan. There's just loads of places in that guide. That's where I'm gonna send you, because it's better than me just trying to rattle stuff off. And it just depends like where you're gonna be. So if I tell you a breakfast place in Shoreditch, but you're going to be in Notting Hill, like there's no point in you going all the way to Shoreditch because I've given you one recommendation. Meanwhile, I have like 3 other recommendations that would have been way closer for you to get to that are in the guide. Aw. Thanks for these nice comments, guys. I am seeing them. Cedos, nice birthday dinner restaurant recommendations for when we go in January for Hubs and I. Again, it's kind of hard to like answer stuff like that because I don't know what your budget is. I don't know what your tastes are. And there's so many options here. So I'm going to send you again to the local guide to London. That's where all of my best restaurant suggestions are. And you can kind of pick out like what you think you're going to like best, what area you're going to be in, what's going to be like closest to you, and what fits your budget. Any recommended events during the New Year's weekend in London? There's a parade on New Year's Day. Obviously, there's like loads of stuff that go on New Year's Eve. I personally don't ever go to any events on New Year's Eve. It's just a lot going on. So we usually have like something a little smaller at like a friend's house. But there will be loads and loads and loads of stuff on. Marcelo, have you ever used Groupon's discount codes? I've never used them here, no. I don't know if foreigners can use them. Yeah, you should be able to use them. That should be fine. Oh, the world through my eyes. I wish I had a ready-made 3-day London itinerary when I visited in July. It would have saved me a lot of hours of planning and probably a lot of problems avoided. Oh, that is exactly why I'm trying to make it, so that hopefully that will help. But that's good to hear that you think that you would have liked that. Do you prefer New York subway or the tube? I prefer, that's hard because I prefer the tube for pretty much everything. I do think it's like a cleaner system and it comes a little quicker, but I do like that the subway has air conditioning, and also I miss express trains. I'd be able to get places so much faster if they had express trains here. When it's your birthday, where can you get the best chocolate cake? I don't know. I'm sorry. You can get chocolate cake like any restaurant here. It's pretty basic. I mean, there's loads of really good bakeries like that people really like Peggy Portion's a really popular one because it's very Instagrammy. There's the Dominique Ansel Bakery that's here. There's so many bakeries here that you'll probably really like. If you've been back to the US, what has changed the most? Do I really have to? I mean, I think we all know what's changed the most. I'm not sure if I really need to answer that one. I don't want to get into that. So that is definitely the thing that's changed the most since I've left. Don't even need to say. You guys can read me like a book. Are Londoners okay with nose or face piercings? Yep, that's fine. Don't worry about that. Betty, your thoughts on a day trip to Liverpool? I'm staying near Hyde Park. Liverpool's quite far for a day trip, so I probably wouldn't suggest it. There's so much, honestly, like, unless you're going to be here for a few weeks, Betty, like, don't feel like you have to get out of London. There's so many things you could do here that, like, people who live here for years haven't experienced all of it. Let me just block this guy. Remove. Do you drive in London? Is it weird? No, I personally don't. My husband does a little bit, but not usually. And no, it's not weird. It's just, like, really slow. Macaulay's watching from South Africa. I love South Africa. Try not to spam me, though, with your Instagram if you can. Do people use regular coupons like we do in the USA? No, they don't actually. Not usually, no. Any recommended pubs near Victoria Station? Wayne, I'm not a huge fan of Victoria, to be honest. There's not loads going on there. I don't actually have any suggestions right around Victoria. If you can go to Pimlico has a couple other better ones. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but yeah, I don't really, I'm trying to think pub-wise. If you can go a little bit further, if you want to go to like Fulham, there's Tommy Tucker. That's pretty good. The Red Lion, I think, yeah. The Red Lion's in Chelsea. Lots Road, that's good. Marcelo, thank you so much for the super chat. That's so nice. I hope I got through your questions. If I didn't, let me know. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Oh, God. These people are... I'm blocking these people. Sorry. Don't need them. Janae, what do you miss about New York? I miss my friends, obviously, and my family. But I miss the... What do I miss? Not that much, really. I did miss a lot for a while, but now I feel like I found everything I need here in London. I'd probably really like to have cheap laundry service. That would be nice. I don't really think, there's not, like, want the food kind of as well, and there's some nice restaurants there. But we have nice restaurants here, so there's not too much I miss about it. I guess just the whole general, like, I do love New York as a city, so I think I miss that. And the memories I have there. What the heck? Jabe said, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with everything covered in this Q&A. Do you ever do a live Q&A on a specific topic? Once in a while I've done that. We could, if there's something specific, if you could let me know. Also, Jabe, we can do one-on-one calls, and that's going to be a lot less overwhelming. I did talk about this before, but I have what's called my London trip planning consultations. If you go on my website, which is loveendlondon.com, you will find the page about that, and you can find more information. That's probably the best way to go if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, which is totally understandable. Edgardo, have you ever done anything on Paris? No, I haven't, Edgardo. I would really love to, because I know a lot of you guys go there after you go to London. I don't particularly know Paris that well because it's been a really long time since I went, and if I did anything on it, I'd really want it to make sure that it was like not the standard like these are the 10 things you should do. Go to see the Eiffel Tower. Go to the Notre Dame. Like, you guys know all that stuff. I'd want like an actual local to help me with it. So it's just not something I've done recently, or I've been able to really do. So, Henry, are you a Star Wars fan? I'm not, no. Mike, why are the snacks so addictive? I felt like I took 3 suitcases worth of snacks home in February. LOL. Oh, I don't know. I never really thought about that. Okay. Sorry, guys. I should have blocked that annoying guy way earlier, but I'm trying to get through all the questions. What's your view about Africa? I'm watching all of I love South Africa. I was there for Christmas. It was amazing. I would love to go back. What is your favorite building in London? The Shard, the Walkie-Talkie, or the Gherkin? Probably the Shard, because it's the tallest. Going to be there on Wednesday. Is heavy rain coming in because of Hurricane Ophelia? I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Maybe, but oh well. We'll see. Have I ever visited Helsinki? No, I haven't. Oh, thanks, Ben. That's really kind of you. Okay. Gladamar, best shake. I like Shake Shack, but you can get that in New York too, obviously. Henry, have you had the chance to visit Iceland, Jess? If so, how did you like it? Nope, I haven't been. What's the best place you can recommend for really good fish and chips? I personally like Poppy's. Churchill Arms is a beautiful pub, says Mark. Yep, it is a good one. And they have Thai food there, which I think surprises everyone. Oh, I swear I blocked this guy. What the heck? Sorry, Ethan. Yeah, I did. I thought I did. Sorry. So annoying. How is he still showing up? I'm very sorry. Okay, guys. Well, 8 o'clock is rolled around. I need to make dinner. I'm so hungry. So thank you so much for joining. Again, thank you so much for your patience. I hope you guys have hopefully got some good tips from this and that I was able to answer your questions as much as possible. So have a great rest of your Sundays, and let me know if you think I should do this again. Just comment on the video once it's posted to the to my YouTube channel. Otherwise, I will see you next week with a new video about autumn in London on Thursday, and a few other things coming your way as well. So bye everyone. Thanks.